You deserve to be confident, and you deserve to love the person that you see in the mirror, but it's not going to happen unless you clock in for yourself. Do things even though it's hard and even though it's inconvenient. And you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep showing up, and you keep showing up. And if you check all of those boxes and you show up for yourself, you will see progress.
And Stephanie joined us now. Stephanie, we're looking at this video of you at Universe. This is a national show in New Jersey. When you found out that moment in finals that you were going to get the pro card, what do you think was going through your mind?
A lot of excitement. I knew I had placed top 5 just because at finals they only had the top 5 do their full routine. So just knowing that I had placed top 5 in a national show was already exciting of itself. And then, you know, when you're waiting there on the stage, they call 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, and then my name gets called. It's just, you know, a really fun and exciting and very gratifying moment.
Let me ask you this. You have some experience in wellness. It looks like you're heading the bikini route. That's fantastic. But do you think you'll miss the wellness posing, all that comes with that?
Well, I mean, I love wellness. I think it's such a beautiful look, and I definitely want it to be wellness, but both times I prep for wellness, every time I cut down, I realized how much muscle I just didn't have. You know, those IFBB pros in wellness just have massive legs. The posing is definitely a lot harder in wellness because they have to do the quarter turns. So it was kind of nice transitioning to bikini because I felt like the posing was a little bit easier. But I do like the wellness posing just because it obviously shows off the leg development a little bit more. But yeah.
Kind of that side pose in wellness is harder. Just you kind of have to sit down.
I actually think the wellness front pose is the hardest pose.
Okay.
I think the side poses were a little bit easier.
How come? Why is that?
I just felt like trying to get the right angles with like twisting your torso to the side while keeping your shoulders square, trying to keep, you know, show off the glute on the side. It was just a lot happening.
Mm-hmm. The show in let's see what this show was called. It was in Southern California, NPC Southern California Championships. It was just a little over a month ago. You won the bikini overall in that.
I did.
What was that like?
So exciting and a little bit unexpected. I mean, I knew I would place well in my height division, but you never know how it's going to go when you get into the open category. So again, you know, once they call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the longer you wait to hear your name, the more and more exciting it gets. So it's just very rewarding.
I think that's another reason for switching to bikini is a good idea. You're relatively tall.
Yeah, and the feedback I got from the judges was that I have a very good look for bikini, especially being so tall, it is harder to fill out in a division like wellness. So yeah, the feedback from the judge was to go to a national show and go for my bikini pro card, and that's exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm. You're right now reversing out of a caloric deficit. So many athletes experience some post-show blues. Number one, are you experiencing any of that right now? And would you have any advice for someone who is going through that?
I'm not experiencing that right now, thank goodness, because it is a hard thing to go through. But I did go through that at my very first competition, which was in 2017. I just didn't have proper guidance reversing out of a caloric deficit. And I especially didn't know the effects of, you know, overeating after a show with all the extra sodium and fats and things like that. So after my first competition, I gained like 20 pounds in 2 weeks, and that definitely sent me into the post-show blues because I went from like the best shape of my life and then now 20 pounds overweight, which was like heavier than what I had originally started the prep. And then because I was so embarrassed that I gained all that weight, I stopped working out for a little bit. And, you know, it's nice this day and age that we're in now. Like even 6 years ago, there wasn't many resources for bodybuilders online. And I feel like in the last 6 years, the community has definitely grown. and people share their stories more. And so it's just nice to hear other people's experiences and know that you're not alone in, binging after a show.
I'm in Dallas right now, and the bodybuilding, especially in the competition world, is just absolutely exploded here in Texas. What's it like over there in California?
I would say in my specific area, it's not that big, but I mean, if you go to the beach cities, which is like about an hour out from where I am, it's pretty popular out there.
Takes a long time to build muscle, doesn't it? Sometimes.
It does. It really does. I thought I had built up a lot more muscle this last time. And then once I, started cutting, same thing, I realized how much muscle I didn't have.
You're gracefully and beautifully moving out of your 20s, about to hit 30. Are you excited?
I'm excited now. Yeah. If you would have asked me this time last year, I would have been like, no, the last year of my youth. But things have just really come together with, earning my pro card right before I hit 30, online business starting to generate more income, and just feeling like I'm growing into who I'm supposed to be.
Something that's really cool about you that I noticed is your skin. So I have acne prone skin, unfortunately. Everyone else, people have all different types of skin, dry skin, oily skin. Stephanie, do you have any skincare tips?
You know what? I actually do have very acne prone skin. I drink a lot of water. I just started using this brand called SLMD, which is by Sandra Lee, formerly known as Dr. Pimple Popper. She has her own brand of acne skincare. That's what I use. It works for me. So
do you do the cleanser, toner, all that stuff?
yeah,
Moisturizer?
Cleanser, and then benzoyl peroxide, just whatever comes in like the little 60-day kit.
Oh yeah, I use benzoyl peroxide.
Yep, I think it's a staple.
You were at SPF?
Yes, I have to.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up.
We're taking a look at this video right now. This is my favorite video I've seen of you. Of you doing the splits. I know you have a gymnastics background. You may be too young for this, but this reminds me so much of Jean-Claude Van Damme and the film Bloodsport.
I'm familiar.
Let me think of a question for this now that since I brought it up. Oh, I know. So on your Instagram, the room that you're doing the splits in, we see you in this room a lot talking from there, and there's a lot of stuff on your wall. Are you a comic book fan, or what is all this stuff?
I'm actually a retro vintage fan. I love the 40s and 50s when it comes to music, fashion, cars. So that what you see in the background is a bunch of like metal signs that are inspired by the 50s. That was originally set up in the first apartment that I had like a little diner theme in my kitchen. So yeah,
We've seen you do some photo shoots in diners and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the 50s. If I could time travel, I would go to the 50s in a heartbeat.
That's cool. How long are you doing gymnastics?
I competed in gymnastics as a kid for 6 years, and then I've been coaching gymnastics for 12 years.
So you're still coaching gymnastics right now?
Yeah, that's my full-time job. I coach competitive, so it's really fun and exciting coaching competitive gymnastics while being in a competitive sport myself. I try to teach my girls a lot of the, like mental things that I learn throughout the process of being in a competitive sport, and try to pass it on to them.
So someone like me, and I mentioned this to someone yesterday, doing an interview. I really haven't started lifting seriously until the last 6 months to a year. One thing I noticed with me, my mobility is not very good right now. How important is that? And any tips for me on the whole mobility issue?
I think it really depends on what your goals are, but I would say mobility is extremely important. I think even just in terms of your day-to-day, it helps with your posture. you know, and when you're doing certain lifts, if you feel like your range of motion is prohibited by your mobility, then probably work on that a little bit. But if you are trying to get more flexible, I mean, you know, maybe do some yoga, that might help.
Do you do yoga?
I do yoga. Yes.
Did you do it during this prep?
No,
Okay.
more just a hobby that I, you know, do every now and then. Put on a YouTube video here and there.
Sure. I had a question for you. There's a video of you were doing split squats with up to 140 pounds with dumbbells. Can you believe that? How far you've come?
No, I cannot believe it. Especially with a lift like split squats, because anyone that's done split squats knows how brutal they can be. But I mean, that's just the power of consistency and, you know, making little progress day by day.
Sometimes the Olympia, not this year, but last year, I know it was in Vegas. That's probably somewhat close to you.
Mhm.
You ever been to check it out?
I actually have not been to Olympia. It's just hard for me to get time off during the week because of the job that I have. But you know, one day I would love to go watch and hopefully compete in Olympia too.
Yeah, that's why I was asking that. You have to have some thinking there that you'll be on the Olympia stage. I think you will be.
Thank you.
Be a lot of fun.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, leave us with some advice. I've enjoyed talking to you. Maybe just someone who's struggling to eat clean and work out. This is just a generic question for the public. If someone doesn't have to be competing, lifestyle clients.
Mhm.
Any advice for someone like that?
The biggest advice I can give is just to start and to stay consistent and understand that in your fitness journey, you know, we want it to be like this consistent, like growth, when in reality, life happens and you know, it ebbs and flows. It's always moving up and down. And if you find yourself falling off track, just remind yourself of why you started and, you know, start as soon as you can again.
That's so true. Yesterday, I was sitting right in this chair working and had a plan to go to the gym at 4 p.m. and I started to get a little bit of a headache. So I had to take a nap, and then finally I got in a little bit. Oh, I went in though, Stephanie. I got in.
Good job.
It was a good pump. I did legs, but it wasn't a straight line of success. I had to it was exactly what you just described.
Mhm.
Why don't you leave us with what's behind you? We see a lot of trophies behind you. We'll end with that.
Those are just, you know, my collection of trophies I guess I won from my bodybuilding amateur days.
What's the biggest one in the middle?
That one's actually from the first show that I ever did. I won the wow, why am I blanking on what it's called now? Oh, the novice. I took the overall in novice.
In the 2017 one?
2017. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, it's relatively not where you are, but over here, getting well into the night. So I just want you to know I really appreciate your time, and I know it's so valuable. So thank you so much, and I cannot wait for people to start watching this. So I'll just say it again. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and consideration of having me on your show.